Welcome to Malaysia Tamil Bible College podcast. To the viewers watching this podcast for the first time, I am Samson. This podcast is part of the Pastoral Care and Counselling subject for the MD program. The purpose of this podcast is for me to share and discuss on a topic given. For this podcast episode, I have my fellow classmate Chandra here to join me on a discussion on the topic fear. Also, the difference between fear and phobia, types of phobia, fear, etc. Thank you, Chandra, for being here.
Thank you, Samson, for inviting me to this podcast. It's a pleasure to join you on this topic called fear. That as we all of us go through this in our lives daily. And talking about this topic, I believe it will give me some enlightenment.
Yeah, sure. We all might think, what to talk about fear? It's just fear. But I was doing some research on fear. There are many types of fear. Also, fear is closely related to phobia. So I hope whatever information we share here will be of some use
I believe so.
to everyone.
What kind of fear are we going to be talking or discussing about today, Samson?
Okay, first of all, before we go into the topic fear, because fear and phobia is closely related, we're going to explain the difference between fear and phobia. In a nutshell, fear is real. Fear is natural emotion that protects people from harm they face in real time, real life, imminent danger.
Yeah.
Something like physical, emotional, psychological,
All right.
things like that. I remember growing up when I was a small boy, I have this fear of darkness. I can't go out at night.
Okay.
Very fearful, even if the light goes off, I'm afraid.
All right.
Not to mention, even behind the door, the dark shadow also I'm
You
afraid.
still have that?
No. My father, when I was small, bought me a book when I was about the age to read. He bought me a lot of Ladybird books, but I don't know if this one is a Ladybird book or not. But I remember it's called How to Shudder.
All right.
Then when I read that book, after that book, by the time I finished, I don't have any fear anymore because I think the book gave me more fear than anything else. So when I closed the book, my fear got closed. No more fear already.
So Samson, you do not have any more fear now?
Oh, I can't say that. Fear, yes, the dark fear gone. But I have a new friend now.
Now,
He's a phobia.
I see.
Yeah, I can't be in closed place like like a small tunnel or small narrow place.
All right.
Oh, I can't even breathe. It's not only me doing it. Even if I watch, National Geography, all they will go underground and go through the small tunnel and the rescue all.
You feel it?
I feel it. I cannot breathe.
Oh.
Even just now, when I was writing this, I was thinking about that scenery, right? Even then I cannot breathe. So I still have that
All right.
phobia. I don't know how long it's going to be. Phobia, on the other hand, is actually excessive fear.
Okay.
It's like not like like if you have fear of fire, yes, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, every time you see a fire somewhere and you you have a phobia, like as though the whole place is gonna burn down, and then it becomes a phobia.
Okay.
Phobia also is do a life-changing effect to the people who's having phobia, because the whole life is will be based on the phobia they are having. Because every time, let's say some people have phobia on water, they see water, they will have this phobia.
Okay.
So basically, the phobia that I had on the narrow place is called claustrophobia.
Yeah. I think
It is.
I also do see some resemblance in my own children.
Oh.
They fear of insects or cockroaches especially. So, what other kind of phobia is there, Samson?
But when you talk about phobia, I looked it up. There's more than 500 names there.
Wow.
More than 500. I'm going to share few lah. Because we
Alright, yeah.
don't have enough time to share 500, and I don't know all the 500 phobia in fact. So I chose some real unusual phobia.
Oh,
the
is it?
first one is not even fitting into my. I've been practicing this name of this phobia. I cannot pronounce.
What is it?
It's called. Let me try. It's called arachibuitrophobia.
What? That's a funny name.
Yeah, it is a very funny name. I wonder what is this name means in the first place. This is really strange. This phobia involving the subject is even more stranger. It involves peanut butter. Do you like
peanut butter?
Yeah. Do you like peanut butter?
I love peanut butter.
I like peanut butter. Who don't like peanut butter? Yeah. So anyway, this phobia happens. You know how they imagine what will happen if my peanut butter will stick on top of my mouth, on the roof of my mouth. Imagine.
I don't think so. It happens.
I think they cannot talk. Because the butter is on the roof.
Okay.
Your tongue cannot move.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fear there. But I find it very strange. Peanut butter is a phobia. World going, I don't know what's happening now.
I never expected this would cause fear for some people. I was assuming the fear due to peanut allergy, but I got it wrong.
Another one, nomophobia. Those who are watching this podcast, do you know what is nomophobia? If anybody knows, please comment us in the comment section. Okay. Well, I didn't know till today. Chandra, how about you? Do you know about this phobia?
Nomophobia. I've never heard of this before. Something new to me. Is it a fear of being without your mobile phone?
Exactly. That's the one.
I see.
We are in the 21st century. What else? Phone making phobia. I thought it is an addiction. It's a phobia now.
Wow. That's what I thought it was an addiction, because we see a lot of cases where people sometimes are so engrossed with their handphone, and they sometimes walk into walls, drop into the drains, get hit by cars.
Exactly. So they did a study in 2016.
Yeah.
Researchers proposed that nomophobia may be less of a significant phobia. They also come to census rate. It's no longer phobia. So they classified this under a smartphone addiction disorder.
I see. Because we see sometimes parents these days are not like parents of those days.
Yeah,
We used to get chased around with rotans, and our parents used to come after us. But today, to pacify their children, what they do is they on the handphone, put it in front of the child, and the child is engrossed with that.
Exactly.
And they develop such symptoms of addiction to this kind of videos.
We see in restaurants also, the whole family will be there.
True.
And all looking at the phone.
Yeah. Wow, what a piece of device can cause us a dramatic change in one's life.
Yeah. I also watch similar videos now. Do you have any other phobia? Do you know any other phobia?
Well, Samson, have you heard of a phobia called artimophobia?
Artimophobia, what a strange name again.
Yeah. There's so many phobias with strange names.
Yeah. Strange phobias with strange names. Yeah, I think I know this one. It's to do with numbers. But this is actually not a formal diagnosis. People treat it like a specific phobia. In case of this is due to ignorance of learning.
Oh, okay.
In olden days means they would have just spanked and asked them to study the
True,
numbers.
yeah.
Now everybody don't want to listen, and children don't know how to this thing, and it become a phobia.
Yeah. So I believe this fear could also be because of a close open insult by teachers, parents, friends, or even low scores in subjects can cause this kind of phobia. And Sam, I believe that you don't have this phobia because you are good with numbers.
Yeah, thank God. Surely I don't have such phobia. I'm truly sad though for the group of people who's having this phobia. I wonder how they see the numbers. Are they seeing the numbers like cockroaches and snakes?
Yeah.
God only knows. Wow. Have you heard of this phobia, Plutophobia?
Plutophobia? I know about when I watch Disney, I know Pluto. And when I study about science, I know there's a planet called Pluto. So what is this plutophobia? I never know that there's a phobia named plutophobia.
Oh, there's all kind of these strange ones. It's an intense and irrational fear of money and wealth.
Something new?
Yes, of course. I don't see anyone in Malaysia will have this phobia. We won't have money phobia.
In Malaysia, we need money.
Exactly. I think some strange planet will have this phobia. People have plutophobia. Actually, they fear of wealthy people.
Oh.
But it's not stops there. They also don't want to become wealthy.
I see.
Yeah, exactly. Those that suffer this phobia, they isolate themselves from the family and social society.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I never knew people would fear of money and wealth.
Yeah.
But why is it called plutophobia? Why using a planet's name?
Yeah, I thought maybe Pluto got a lot of wealth.
But it's too far away.
Yeah. But it's an ancient, depicted from the ancient Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The name Pluto is a Greek god.
Oh.
It's a god of wealth.
I see.
That's why they use this name, plutophobia.
All right.
Yeah.
I wonder what are the symptoms for this phobia?
This phobia also have similar symptoms like any other phobia. All these extreme sweating, feeling sick, shaking. Or heart. The tremoring of heart.
Okay.
Inability to talk, think clearly, fear of dying.
That's definitely fear of dying.
Yeah.
I think I also have the fear of dying.
These are the things. Do you know any phobias that you would want to share for this next part?
Oh yes, Sam. I remember that now that since you mentioned it, there's a phobia called xanthophobia. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I know only xanthia. Xanthophobia, I don't know. That is my car.
Oh yeah, it's a car, is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
How can I forget?
It is a fear of the color yellow.
Wow. Fear of color yellow.
Yeah.
What is this world going to?
When we
phobia
were
on colors.
Yeah, on phobia on colors.
I hope you don't have a fear of color purple.
I am not colorblind.
Okay.
So, when I read about this, when we were younger in our school days, we used to tease our friends. Every time say yellow, dirty fella.
Yeah, exactly.
And we know that yellow means we are talking associated with dirt, right? Okay, and here this is what it is. Say the common cause of this phobia is due to unhappy experiences involving the color yellow, like getting stung by a bee or even getting hit by a yellow car or a school bus. In consequence, yellow reminds them about pain, and in the unconscious level mind, reminds them about the loss of life.
Oh, that is sad. Yeah. So I think enough of phobia. My tongue is twisting because with all these funny names.
Yeah.
Especially the first one, I still cannot get the tongue around it. Yeah. So I think we should go into fear now. So as I was reading, some fears are rooted in previous experiences. We've been threatened, rejected, or hurt. Maybe experienced terrifying panic, heartbreaking disappointment, and mortifying embarrassment.
Yeah.
Embarrassment can cause fear. And we fear it will happen again. Yeah. There are other fears existing because we have a strong ability to imagine the worst. Fear of an uncertain future, fear of failure. Yeah, that I can relate to.
All right.
Fears of loss fall in this category, okay? Whatever the source of fear, when we let it overpower us, it becomes toxic.
True.
Yeah, true. And when it becomes toxic, we can become paralyzed by all what it is. Like, what if I lose my job?
Yeah.
What if something happens to my kids? What if we don't have enough to retire?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that is something to think about.
True.
What if we don't?
Yeah, we are at an age time where we
have to
are
think
growing
about
old.
it.
Yeah, we need to think about it.
And some more, for me, it's never enough.
Okay.
Okay, and more things like this. This all comes under fear. I think most of us, when we experience certain challenges or fear, we think, I can handle it. I can do this. Would you think the same, Chandra?
True, Sam. If somebody asks me this question, I would tell them definitely. Because the first thing that comes to my mind is I can get through it. I'm able to overcome it.
Yeah, we are overcomers, so we are always overcoming all things. Yeah, same here with me. But there are times fear creeps in and becomes a burden that seems too heavy to bear and longer. In fact, while preparing for this podcast, I could feel the fear creeping in, and throughout, not being able to get it right. I was wondering whether I can finish this podcast properly or not. That is a fear I'm having right now. Yeah.
Well, Sam, keep it up. I believe you're doing well and you have some great points thus far.
Thanks. Thanks, Chandra, for the encouragement. In fact, I came across this two types of fear. I mean, this is a very big subject. When I went into it, I thought it's just simple fear. What is fear? Just like putting a fire off, I think it will go off. But as I do research, it's a huge subject.
Okay.
And basically, I come out with these two things. Some they say fear is healthy. Some say fear is unhealthy. So
wait.
Healthy fear, unhealthy fear.
Wait, Sam. What are you saying is fear, healthy fear? I've never heard of this because all my life and even when I was growing up, I only know being frightened.
Yeah, it's all negative to us, right?
Yeah.
But there's a healthy fear.
Okay.
Yeah. They say fear is healthy because it is programmed into our nervous system and gives us the survival instinct.
Okay.
So they're seeing it in a positive way.
I see.
You need to keep yourself safe from danger. Fear becomes unhealthy when it makes us to be more cautious than we really need to be safe.
Okay.
When it prevents us from doing things we would otherwise enjoy.
Okay.
That is unhealthy fear. But other than that, they classify fear under the healthy fear. Yeah.
I've also heard that we have fear in our brains and our hearts. Both organs hold a different response.
Yeah, true. Yeah, the reason fear is in our brains is because of the amygdala. That's another word is not getting into my mouth.
Amygdala.
This is a small portion of our brain in the area. It helps to respond on the emotions. It immediately presses the panic button.
I see. I've heard about panic buttons.
Yeah. This one we have one in our head.
Yeah.
Because fear isn't just any emotion. It's a powerful, primitive one.
Yeah.
That your brain and body really want to maintain your safety.
Okay.
It's all about safety. Yeah. Even your blood flow changes. The blood actually flows away from your heart into your limbs, making it easier for you to start throwing punches. Ooh, when I get fear, I'll be throwing punches. Maybe I'll go to boxing and somebody have to make me fearful.
When I'm frightened, I run.
But I think it's the other part says, the other part actually shows telling about me. Run for your life. Your body is preparing for fight or flight.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I believe when fear sets in our lives, there is two things. If we can overcome, definitely we will stand there. But we see the odds are against us, we will run. That's to save ourselves.
Yeah.
Why do we feel fear in our hearts, Sam?
Okay, fear in the heart cause of heart palpitation due to anxiety. Feel like your heart is going to explode, racing, fluttering, pounding, skipping a beat. Your heartbeat can increase in response or specific stressful situation.
All right.
You may also have a palpitation due to an anxiety disorder. Yeah, these are the things happen in your heart due to fear. Yeah.
So Sam, between the brain and the heart, which organ actually controls fear?
I would say brain because of this fellow, the amygdala. Yeah. As soon as you recognize fear, this fellow goes to work, which is a small organ in the middle of your brain. It alerts your nervous system. Yeah. like what you say, panic mode,
Yeah.
which sets your body into fear response in motion. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline will release, your blood pressure and heart rate increases.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's also part of your brain that helps to remove fear, which is both the hippocampus, a brain region that is heavily involved in memory, and the prefrontal cortex, which aids high-level decision making, also help control the fear. Yeah.
Right.
So this one portion go into panic mode, the other portion help to control your fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are interesting fact I'm learning about the organs that control and remove fear in us. But what are the best methods to manage fear, my dear friend?
There are several ways you can fight your fear. You need to identify what your fear are. Ask yourself, what makes me feel afraid? Then instead of just thinking about these things, write them down.
Okay.
When you write down your fears on paper and actually question them, it forces you to analyze why you are afraid.
Oh.
Questions are designed to trigger your fear and bring them to the surface. Yeah, this is not going to be a comfortable process. Deep inner work never is. However, if you continue to keep your feelings in the dark, the scarier they will be, and more disempowered you will become.
All right.
Yeah.
How about those who are unable to evaluate themselves, like how you have explained to me?
Well, it's very simple. Go see a doctor. Yeah. Your doctor might suggest you try changing your lifestyle first.
Hey, if I know go see a doctor, I would have went long time ago.
Yeah, but you don't know you're having fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you having fever?
Still, sometimes.
It's fear, okay, not fever.
Not fever.
Okay. Anyway, he will suggest some simple changes like exercising regularly that he will definitely recommend for you.
Yeah, definitely for me. When he looks at me, he will recommend.
Yeah, and reduce your stress level. So as eating healthy, that he will recommend for me. Yeah, getting enough sleep also recommend for me, and reducing and avoiding stimulants like caffeine and alcohol.
All right.
Okay, that part is okay. But your symptoms are more serious when the doctor thinks Panadol is not working. Then he will recommend you to a therapist for treatment, such as CBT. You know,
Wow,
the
CBT.
cognitive behavioral therapy. Yeah, CBT is a type of psychological therapy that can help you change unhelpful thoughts and behaviors that contribute to your fear.
All right.
Yeah. So they will use all kind of this problem solving, exposure theory, cognitive restructuring, mindfulness, relaxation, all these kind of methods they will use to treat you.
So we as Christians, how are we to deal with this kind of fear in our lives?
Well, for us it's very easy because we can always go back to God because He said, "Fear not." In fact, in the Old Testament, it's mentioned 365 times. In the King James Version, it's mentioned 500 times. Say, "Fear not." So God is with us. He is, all the time with us. We need to seek God until He takes away the fear in us. Seek Him by reading the Word. Seek Him through prayer.
Yeah,
read Christian
true.
books. Books. You associate yourself with all these church activities, and go seek a church counselor, elders and leaders, pastors maybe mentor you, and they can help you come out of church. For us, there's plenty of help available. There are many verses in the Bible also. God tells prophets, kings, and disciples not to be afraid. We are not to fight or wrestle with the fear, but to hand it over to Jesus, moment by moment. If you take your fears to God, He will destroy them for you.
Right.
It says in Isaiah. God teaches us not to fear because He wants us to know we can trust Him in all things. Even if He meant we aren't safe, like when the time Jesus tells His disciples not to be afraid of the people who hated them, persecuted them, call them names, or even try to kill them.
Yeah.
Simply put, fear is opposite of faith. God wants us to walk by faith.
Yeah.
And Satan wants us to walk by fear so that he can manipulate and destroy our life. When we learn to live by faith and not let fear rule over our life, we can live a fulfilling, satisfying, peaceful, and joyful life in Christ.
It's very true, Sam. Like King David said in Psalms 34 verse 4, I sought the Lord and He answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. So I believe when we allow to let loose our fears and choose God to take it over, we become empowered and our faith increase in Him. There's a quote from a devotional book that I've read that I would like to share today. We often glance at God but gaze at our circumstances. We have it backward. When we learn to constantly gaze at Jesus and only occasionally look at our problems, our fears will fade away.
That's a good quote, Chandra. Okay, let's wrap up with a slight recap on what we have talked. We have spoken on the differences of phobia and fear, the types of phobia and its symptoms, what is fear and how to react in a physical body, how to manage fear with the help of doctor, and help through the church leaders and counselors, and not to forget the word of the Bible, and submitting our fear to the Lord. Thank you very much, Chandra, for joining me in the episode. We have talked so much insightful information about fear.
Thank you, Samson, for having me on this podcast. It was an insightful session, and I have also learned some new phobias and how to manage fear.
Yeah. I would like to thank the viewers for watching this episode till the end. I hope this session will guide you in your personal life. Also, please share your life experience on fear and how you have overcome fear personally in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to receive notification when we release new videos. Don't forget to stay tuned for upcoming videos from the Pastoral Care and Counseling subject. Thank you and God bless.